Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Genshin Impact and drama and Twitter. Asmongold had a short little couple minute clip that I thought did a good job of kind of summing up the issue. So we're going to listen to it, react to it for a second, and yeah, let's go and get into it.
Basically, what ended up happening is that Genshin Impact is adding in a new zone,
Cultural
and people
appropriation.
think that there should be more dark-skinned people in this zone. Now,
I mean that's always something people complain about. There's not enough dark people. Look at Final Fantasy 16 when they released their video game. People complaining there weren't enough dark people in that game. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yet they never complain when Netflix or Disney race swaps to a black person. If you're a redheaded person in some sort of IP that's either being redone or created from scratch, you're almost guaranteed to be a black person at this point. Redheads are coded for black people. If there's a redhead something, they're going to race swap you. They might even potentially gender swap you. So you're screwed either way.
I like the tweet of somebody changing the skin color.
I hate it when they do this on Twitter. They do this all the time. Be like, oh, I fixed it for you. If they don't think that you drew the person dark enough, or if you didn't draw the person dark at all, I hate it when they do this. They always go out and they'll change a person's artwork. But yeah, they'll be the first ones that say, oh, well, artists should have the freedom to do and draw what they want to draw themselves. But yet, if it's not what they want, they complain about it.
The different characters in Genshin Impact in the new zone and making them black. But what I'm pretty sure happened is that the person saw that.
Why did they give her? It looks almost like a goatee, but I'm wondering if it's more like a tribal thing since they changed it to be a black person in this case. Could be tribal, like tribal markings and stuff on the face. But in anime, that's almost like a goatee in the 2D way of drawing anime and manga.
Is that the person saw that I liked the tweet and they blocked me,
they don't
so
want
I can't talk about it. So obviously they keep editing the different characters to give them darker skin.
So
now, why is it that these characters don't have darker skin?
Because it's a Chinese company and they decided that's not how they wanted to draw them. But then at the same time, again, it's a Chinese company. Yeah, people of other races don't sell well in Asian markets. I mean, let's just be honest. They're xenophobic, and I hate that word because it's got a negative connotation to it. But to me, I don't really care that they are how they are. It has allowed them to maintain their culture and their traditions and their moral values for a lot longer than the West has been able to do. The West has fallen prey to just this massive immigration and influx of cultures and values that don't always mix well with the nation's original culture, tradition, and values. And it makes it very hard for the nation at that point to have any sort of cultural identity because there's so many different cultures and they don't always mix well. But the Asian countries, they don't have that problem because they are kind of racist and they keep these people for the most part in check or out of their country. They do not fall prey to this. Now, Japan is starting to. And I think that's because of the influence of the West, because a lot of the Japanese gaming countries, when gaming and anime first started really coming to the West, they created, I don't want to say headquarters. Eventually, I think they moved their headquarters over here after some time, but they created branches out in the West. Sony, Nintendo, and whatnot. And so they created, if they didn't build branches here, they created relationships with companies here in the West. And I think throughout time, influence has grown. Those branches or the companies that the East has created relationships with here in the West, their influence has grown in Japan. And I do think Japan is slowly starting to, I don't want to say come around because that implies that they're doing the right thing, but they're starting to fall prey to the same stuff the West has already fallen prey to. Now, people in Japan are fighting back against it. Now, Japan may not ultimately fall. They may be successful in pushing back against this whole globalism crap that is being pushed in entertainment. But for the most part, these Asian countries like Korea, China, Japan have resisted this stuff. And that's why you see a lot of big games now coming from Korea because people love them. You got Stellar Blade, First Descendant, and the character designs are really great. They're not the same crappy designs you see in like Concord, and we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Let's find out why.
Oh, I love this commercial. It's hilarious. I don't know if it actually aired. If it did, man, the people got balls. I'm not gonna lie. It's hilarious. I wish I knew what that said.
It's because if they add...
Oh my god, he washed the black right out of him.
in dark-skinned characters, their fans in China will mauled.
Yeah.
It's not racism. Black characters don't sell well. Why don't black characters sell well? The world will never know. And so, yes, you're seeing these people getting mad about it. And somebody sent in...
Oh, I saw this response. I thought it was terrific. This response almost got me to play Genshin Impact again. It was so based. Oh my god.
And a customer service complaint to Genshin Impact. They said, what the fuck? What kind of response is this when a player submits feedback about...
I don't see it being racism or colorism. I don't see it. Why can't the artists in the company design these characters the way they want to do it? Why do you have to maul and complain about them not being the way you want it to be? You're a fucking idiot.
About racism and color.
Oh, but he's the type of person that will complain about this. But if it was in reverse, he'd be celebrating it. He wouldn't have one issue whatsoever. And if anybody complained about it then, he'd be the first one to be like, oh, you're a racist. You're a bigot. So, I mean, this is why I have no empathy towards these people, because they don't have any principles. It's not about principle. It's not. They're racist towards white people. I almost 100% believe that. And because their complaints always ever go one way.
Embarrassing, unprofessional behavior from a company of grown-ups and supposed mature, well-read developers.
Are they white, Hoyo?
So let's read it. Thank you for your feedback. Please be kindly reminded that Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and
that's the exact response they should be given. And that's the exact response a lot of people who have been anime fans since the 80s and 90s will give some of these tourists now when they complain about lollies and that lolly body type. And they automatically try to associate it with children, real life children. And then they call you a pedo if you happen to like a character that is a lolly character. It's not real life, bro. And the fact that you want to correlate it with something real life, I think you're the one that has the problem, not the other way around.
Not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. We really do hope for your understanding. Kind regards, the Genshin Impact
so
team.
Brutal. That's hilarious.
They have a change.org petition.
Of course they do.
Man.
Whitewashing. Look, it's not whitewashing. These characters are not based off of anybody in real life. Okay? Even if they share similarities, it's not based off of them. They've said that. It's a work of fiction. Okay, and it's not whitewashing. Now, if it was blackwashing, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't complain. Were you creating petitions when Disney race swapped The Little Mermaid? Were you complaining when Netflix made Queen Elizabeth black? I mean, this has been done so much. Blackwashing has been done so much by companies when they've been doing like historical documentaries or when they've been redoing classics from the 80s and 90s, Disney. Nobody complains then because they're almost always race swapping or gender swapping something. But when it's one direction, they support it. When it's the other, that's when they complain. There's no principles.
See, this is the thing. This is what these people don't understand. This only works on Western companies.
Yep.
Eastern companies don't care about this. Only Western companies pretend to care about it.
And you shouldn't care. Twitter is not indicative of the real world. Okay? It's not. For the most part, the drama you see on Twitter is just nothing. Now, every once in a while, drama will break out on Twitter that is so huge, it can impact your game. See Helldivers 2, I think Stellar Blade with some of that drama, but almost always, the drama you see on Twitter. It's from a very small but vocal community, and they almost never play your game.
They don't care about it either, but they pretend to care about it. What's crazy is that these are the people that are like, oh, well, let artists do what they want to do, right?
Exactly.
They have to take creative liberties. But whenever they do that and it's not...
Oh, look, they say review bomb. I thought review bombing was bad. That's what I've been told. I thought review bombing was bad, and that it was just bots and people who've never played the game or never watched the TV series or watched the movie or whatever. I mean, I thought review bombing was bad. If you're a Star Wars fan, but you hate Disney Star Wars because of what they've been doing, which is understandable, you're not allowed to leave a review and complain about it, because if you are one of thousands of people to do so, then it's review bombing. And these people just don't like Star Wars. They hate women. They hate black people. Whatever insult these other people will try to throw their way. It's ridiculous.
Something that you like, now you're complaining about it.
Yep.
And you're like race swapping all of the characters. Like,
Yep.
why you give her a goatee? Like, that's weird, bro. Like, what the who does this, man?
Yep.
Who does this? Is
Crazy
crazy.
Yes,
Where do
they
these
are.
people come from, man?
They come from Twitter. That's where they live. All day, every day. They're terminally online people, and they need to go touch grass. Hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more of the content to come your way. I will talk to you guys next time.